Now we know that China has been upgrading classrooms with new technology, so AI has been everywhere in that conversation. So when one question came in about how to stop AI being abused in the classrooms, I really wasn't surprised. So about this question, or about all the AI going to a classroom. So Professor, do we really trust AI enough to send the system into all the classrooms from kindergarten all the way to university?
Well, my answer is we have no choice. AI is everywhere and either brought in by the curriculum of the schools or teaching tools or by the students' choice by themselves. So I think what's most important for us is to let our students to recognize the dual nature of AI. That is, AI has both benefits and also risks. For example, AI can bring much more information but also misinformation, and the AI can also create a lot of opportunities for plagiarism that schools and teachers have been more cautious of. And also there is also the empirical research finding that AI will diminish the students' ability if they rely too much on AI. So I think the most important is the AI literacy. That is, we need to teach our students to use AI ethically and responsibly, and also to grow their human competences when more and more jobs will be replaced by AI. And so in the future, we have to reconfigure our I would say learning architecture. That means we have to renew and update the curriculum, textbooks, and learning modalities so that the students can really master skills for them to thrive in the AI era.
So we know that we're going to have a futuristic classroom with all the amazing gadgets, including AI is one of them. So before we explore the AI's potential in classroom, maybe say to reduce the cost of education, we do have an interesting question about how much money each Chinese household needs to kind of pay for send one child to schools from, say, primary school all the way to university. I know that is a complicated math question because we have so many factors, but let's just don't consider, say, tuition fee or school uniform or transportation. Can you give us an example, on average, how much does it cost for one Chinese household to send their child to school and all the way to university?
Well, really depends, actually. For example, in Beijing, across China, the compulsory education, that is the primary education plus lower secondary education, is free of charge. And in urban areas, for example, at the upper secondary level, the senior high schools, the annual tuition cost is approximately $100. I think that's relatively low or even minimum compared with the average household income in Beijing. And well, for those students in the rural or underdeveloped areas, there is the policy of the two exemption, the one subsidy. That means the students don't have to pay tuition and miscellaneous fees, and then government will subsidize their meals and also cost for receiving the education. And at the higher education level, if students go to universities and colleges, it also depends, but as long as the students work hard, there's a great variety of choices, scholarships, and subsidies. So no matter in spite of a student's socioeconomic status, as long as he or she works hard, he can always receive the education he or she desires with the support from the government.
Okay, so now let's move on to the core question in this. Maybe all the future parents would want to know. Once AI is introduced into classroom, do you think it has the potential to reduce that cost to each household, the expenditure on education?
My answer is definitely yes. Because first is with the AI, for example, a typical example is the National Smart Education Platform. And that has brought together all the quality education resources. That means the lectures or courses delivered by the top performing teachers across the China, so that all the students can access as long as they have the internet and also computer. The second is typically in China, if students have some difficulty with the either infrastructure or facility, and there is also the support from the government so that they can have the equitable access to the digital learning resources. So the Chinese government has invested a lot of efforts to narrow or close these digital wides. So I believe that when all the students will have much more opportunities and a greater variety of choices of learning, and we always have the government behind them to support their learning so that they won't worry about the cost of AI.